Yeah. 3, 2, 1. We are live. Over to you, Tilottama ma'am.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the inaugural event of the Changemaker Summer Camp 2023. I'm Tilottama Srinivasa. I'm a mechanical engineer and I run an engineering services and consultancy company, which incidentally is turned 19 years old today. So I'm going to be anchoring this session. The Changemaker Summer Camp is a unique initiative put together by the Mentors of Change, associated with the Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, Government of India. This is for the benefit of school students and their teachers across the country. Now, our aim is to leverage the strengths of today's change makers, that is mentors, to groom the next generation of change makers, that is all of you school children. By imparting you with knowledge of key trends shaping the world, equipping you with future-ready skills, and providing you with motivation, guidance, support, and encouragement, we will help you make a difference through your creative, innovative, entrepreneurial, and change-making initiatives and actions. Okay, so now in the run-up to the summer camp, we have been running a digital skilling workshop for the last 15 days. And during the next 7 days, we will have several webinars conducted by expert mentors from across the country. So I now invite Mr. Kiran Kumar to share a few thoughts on the purpose of conducting this the summer camp. Sir, if you could tell us.
Yeah. Thank you, Tilottama. Hope you can hear me loud and clear. Hope you are able to hear me.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I am Kiran Kumar. I am a regional mentor of change associated with Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, Government of India. I am part of the national network of 6,000 plus mentors of change across the country who are mentoring school children at one or more of the 10,000 Atal Tinkering Labs across the country set up by schools in support with Atal Innovation Mission. And as the name suggests, Atal Tinkering Labs are STEM-focused laboratories in schools where children in class 6 to 12 can learn hands-on skills in making, tinkering, problem solving, and innovating. And we, the mentors of change, are professionals from diverse fields. Some of us hail from the industry, while others are from academia. Some of us are entrepreneurs, and we run our own businesses. While we also have lawyers, chartered accountants, doctors, engineers amongst us. So we are a pretty diverse group. And still some of us mentors are very dedicated to this cause, and we have taken up mentoring as our career. So you will find all shades of people under the mentors umbrella. And all of us are driven by a common mission. So through our engagement with school children, we are grooming the next generation of what you would say tinkerers, problem solvers, innovators, entrepreneurs, and change makers. And why are we doing this? Why are we grooming these children? Because we are passionate to drive change and make a difference among the younger generation in our country. And we consider ourselves as change makers on a mission. More importantly, our country needs many young individuals with these new age skill sets to realize the nation's true potential among the community of nations. So, well, what better place to start our mission with school children, right? So that's how we have got this started. So this summer, we mentors of change from different parts of the country have come together to launch the Changemaker Summer Camp. This is a national level initiative that is open to both ATL as well as non-ATL schools across the country. And it is open to school children from class 6 to 12, as well as teachers. Over the last 15 days in the run-up to this summer camp, we have been conducting a digital skilling workshop to impart students and teachers with skills in 40 digital tools and technologies. Hundreds and maybe even thousands of students and teachers are participating in this workshop enthusiastically, and they have been sharing a lot of their digital creations in our WhatsApp groups. So if you are part of those groups, you would know what's happening out there. So starting from today, over the next 7 days, our expert mentors of change from different parts of the country will be conducting online webinars every day. These webinars we will have these webinars twice a day, once at 4:30 and another second webinar at 6 p.m. in the evening. And these webinars will provide you exposure to many new and interesting subjects that are relevant to both students as well as teachers. And these webinars will broaden your understanding of the world at large. It will help you realize the importance of making, tinkering, problem solving, and innovating in today's world. Not just that, you will also learn how to start your own small, tiny business venture when you're still studying in school and maybe make some money on the side. Isn't that nice? And if you're more ready for more, we will also show you how to bring your varied talents, knowledge, skills, ideas, initiatives, all of these, you can bring it together to become a change maker. That's what this whole summer camp is all about, becoming a change maker. And you can become a change maker at a very young age by bringing all these things together. And as far as teachers are concerned, teachers can definitely leverage a lot of learnings from the summer camp to improve their teaching methods and techniques in the classroom. So that's a lot to gain in these 7 days, isn't it? So an opportunity like this doesn't knock on our doors every day. So we urge you to make the most of this opportunity and make sure to attend all the webinars for these 7 days, and life could be very different after that. You would probably never be the same person, because with so much of exposure that you're getting in this summer camp, you can probably start taking some initiative and make a huge difference. So that's what I wanted to say today. And thank you very much. So good luck and all the best to all of you participants attending this summer camp. Thank you, and over to you, Tilottama.
Thank you, Kiran sir. Let me now request Ms. Pooja Salwan to share with us more details about the summer camp webinar series. Ma'am.
Thank you, Tilottama. On behalf of ATL Mentors, a heartfelt thank you for being here with us and diving into the world of learning new technologies, skills important for 21st centuries, and their practical applications. As per a recent UN report, we have the world's youngest population, of course, the largest too, but youngest population. And it is our endeavor to make it skilled population. So who can tell me what it means to be the country with the youngest population? You can raise your hands or you can chat, put it in chat. Yes, Yusuf. Funny, could you help me with unmuting them and they can share their thoughts?
Yes, Yadav, you can speak.
Yusuf, can you speak?
I think Yusuf would have to raise his hand again because we can't see him anymore.
Okay. Who's the next? Shanti says
No.
with the most.
Yeah, Yusuf is there. Let's try unmuting. Ask to unmute. Okay, you should be able to unmute.
So a very good afternoon to everyone. So I am Muhammad Yusuf from class 9th studying in A4 School Jalali. So basically India, which is having a great entrepreneurship all over the country. As we all know, Shark Tank, and also innovative minds. And as Gandhiji said, the future depends upon the children of the country. And I would likely say that India, it's gonna be the first country to have and achieve the greatest technology. Maybe it is a developing country, but soon as possible, it's gonna be the greatest country. And today I'm gonna just tell you some brief. Like, India is the first to get about innovative ideas. Also, the India got G20 presidency which is the greatest thing of all time. Thank you and have a nice day.
Cool. Thank you so much. I will take one more person. I do see that there are people who have also put their thoughts in chat, but Tilottama or Fani, can you pick up one more person for us? Thank you.
So I think we'll pick up Jutikar because he has his video on. Sorry, guys. So let me just ask. All right.
Hello everybody, my name is Jitikar. I'm from 6th grade. I'm studying in Delhi Public School South. So what really means by youngest population is that like India, for example, has more children than compared to adults, which means the ratio of children in the country is greater than the ratio of adults. So this makes India very special, and there are some more things which can also make like a difference.
Great. Thank you, Yusuf. And thank you so much for participating. Yes, we are special because we have the youngest population, which means that if just left to themselves, we will not have that skilled population which we are looking for, which will make us the world leader. And by 2050, we will be 9.7 billion people in the world. Imagine. And with this huge population, do you think we should colonize Mars or Jupiter? Because Earth might be small enough for us. So in this Changemakers camp, we will learn what goes into going to another planet, exploring the space, learn how to harness the renewable energy, learn how to communicate with confidence, pitch your ideas, be the entrepreneur, be the innovator and the problem solver. You will be learning simple things which will help you to start tinkering, getting solutions so that you can provide solutions not only to India, but to the world. India is also a world leader in Jugaad, a Jugaad technology. But don't think that Jugaad just happens like this. For that to happen, you have to know the basics. You have to have your fundamentals right. And we need people who can think on their feet, which only happens when they say that I had a sixth sense or my gut was telling me to do this. It's because over time you've worked on something and that has helped you. We want to enable the young leaders of tomorrow with skills of future for now itself. As a part of G20 initiative, we need to reimagine the skilling ecosystem, train you, the global leaders, citizens for the future, and make India a global center for skilled labor. I am Pooja Salwan, and today, on behalf of all the mentors here, I'm excited to be here today and launch this amazing summer camp with more than 2,000 participants. It's unbelievable and huge. I'm sure a lot of you would have realized, even though your schools are equipping you with studies, the basics of understanding science, maths, world, languages, but to be successful in today's world, we need to go more and beyond. At Changemaker Summer Camp, that's precisely what we are offering. Digital skills, soft skills, understanding of new trends, which will eventually become integral to our life, and how to be innovators and problem solvers. I'm sure that all of you have also checked out the website, which has 40 digital learning skills, and you have availed it, you have tried it for yourself. In his G20 speech, Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan said that the 21st century belongs to India, and it will be knowledge-based and technology-driven. With this, I will give you a brief overview of how these 7 days are going to be a game changer. They will open the whole new world of possibilities and ideas for you. So let's take a first step for a tectonic shift. I'm going to share my screen for you. Just a minute. Can everybody see this?
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
Fantastic. So let's start the Changemakers Revolution. This summer camp is curated by for the 21st Century Skills by ATL mentors. Thank you, all of you, for helping us make this a success and helping our children today. So G20 initiative, as I said, it's reimagining the skilling ecosystem, making India a center for skilled labor. And keeping that in mind, we have a three-pronged approach. We will be teaching technical skills, soft skills, and entrepreneurial skills. So it's an amalgamation. You learn all these three skills in these webinars and plus the digital skills on our website, and you will change forever. And help us spread this summer camp to your friends, your family, who you think will also get help from this. Okay, question a lot of you would have, what you will learn. You will learn what are the trending skills. You will get a bird's eye view on what is happening in industry, what is happening in agriculture, what is happening in society, which will help us to be technologically savvy. You will learn strategies, ideas to how to be a tinkerer. We all know that, simple solutions like AI, ChatGPT will help us, but we don't really use them. Why? These webinars are going to help you in that. They're going to help you to be a problem solver. Some of you might invent something which will make India on the world map. Or some of you might be entrepreneurs. Some of you might be change makers, helping others to transform this new India into a global India. I will talk about the schedule. You can take a screenshot, or this is also available on our website with details as to which speaker is speaking when. Ideally, these webinars are such that you would want to attend all of them, but we would really appreciate if you attend all of them. These are our mentors. They all are experts in their fields, and they've taken out time from their busy schedules just to be here so that they can help and be a part of this growing ecosystem where the school children of today and the future leaders of tomorrow are skilled. I would like to thank our sponsoring schools. They've not only helped us in sponsoring different prizes, but also getting their children, their school children, to come and attend these sessions, which are going to have a very good level as compared to other schools. So you are lucky that you have found this and you are coming to these summer camps. One of the most interesting things, recognizing the top performers. This is for students and for you too, teachers. We are not going to leave the teachers behind, because you are the ones who are holding hands for our students and getting them where they are. And this is our way of saying thank you. We will have certificates and cash prizes. For certificates, highest attendance in webinar series, which means starting from 4:30 till 30th of April, highest attendance. Cash prizes, those go to people who have acquired the maximum digital skills, that is before 26th of April, 8 p.m., because we have to grade them, we have to look at them, grade them, and then publish the results. And highest attendance in webinar series. So which means that you automatically get the certificates too. A brief outline. As I already said, these webinars are from 24th April to 30th April. And these are online webinars by the experts. The schedule of each expert is on the website. The joining link is on the website. Online digital skilling modules and workshops are also on our website. Those you can go on your own pace. You want to do 3 skills today, you can do that. You want to do just 1, you can do that. There are lots of demos, quizzes, activities, and challenges which will be coming for our leaders of tomorrow. There will be in, of course, those workshops and also in the webinar series, which our experts will be holding. I am going to share the joining link to you guys. Tilotma and Funny, if you could just share the joining link in the chat so that everybody can have an access to it quickly. And one takeaway which I want all of you to take is be curious. Understand and think why something is happening, why somebody did this, or how it is happening. Ask questions. I am a public speaking coach, and a lot of times I see that students don't ask questions to the teachers because they're not confident or they think their friends will laugh at them. But remember, person who asks the question, a teacher thinks that that person is the smartest person. So do not be shy, ask questions. And with that, thank you so much and all the best to you. Over to you, Tilotma.
Thank you, Pooja ma'am, for sharing details about the webinar series. We have it as 3 school children who are innovators, budding entrepreneurs, and change makers. They have attended digital skilling and entrepreneurship programs in the past. They are using these skills, the skills learned in these programs, to innovate and build their own products and services and launch their own ventures. They have also taken several initiatives to spread a culture of creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship among the larger student community. Today, they have become role models to their peers and are raring to become the change makers at a very young age. So let me now request the 3 students, Meghna Dodipale, Yuvati, and Shreyas S. Bhatt, to share their experience with you all. Can we start with Meghna? Meghna, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Hi guys, I am Meghna, going to 8th grade in Harvest International School, Bangalore. It all started exactly 2 years ago, during the second wave of COVID, when I enrolled for a similar digital skills and entrepreneurship summer camp. I was introduced to numerous digital skills, 21st century skills, entrepreneurial skills, and much more, just like all of you. As soon as this was over, along with a few fellow tinkerers, we launched a student-run program. As a part of the program, we held webinars, workshops, panel discussions, and contests on digital tools and technologies, 21st century skills, creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship, where 8,500 plus students participated. Pretty cool, right? This was followed with an opportunity to be a student mentor for digital skilling boot camps in other schools. I created e-learning content for 36,000 students and also conducted 3 mentoring sessions along with our mentor, which was attended by thousands of participants, mentors, and teachers. I conducted the first student webinar hosted by Atal Innovation Mission on a national level on the topic biomimicry. And right now, I'm managing a social venture with a vision to develop entrepreneurial skills among 1 million rural children, coordinating with students from across India. Well, thank God I enrolled in that summer camp. From scratch programming to app development in Cordula, from writing on bits of paper to writing newspaper articles and publishing my first book, from gossiping with friends to conducting national level webinars, from planning my mother's birthday to organizing maker fairs, from experiments in the chem lab to managing products with multiple team members from across the country. I have come a long way. And not only did I learn skills that go on my resume, I also discovered more about myself, my strengths, my weaknesses. I learned to think systematically and prioritize. I consider myself a change maker, and you have an opportunity to be one. Seize it. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to budding change makers.
Thanks, Meghna. That is really impressive. Yuvati, can you share your experiences, please?
Sure. Hey everyone, I'm Yufti Jangla, founder of Esriman and class 12 student from Haryana. I'm very glad to be invited and share my experience. So my journey started by acquiring digital skills, started from Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp, where I learned digital skills, entrepreneurship skills, as well as communication skills. I developed critical thinking, problem solving through many events. Like one of them was Tinkerchamp program. I developed an app for girls and women called S Women. I used my coding skills to convert my idea into a product. I used tools like Canva, Adobe for marketing as women. From developing to marketing as women, I explored a lot of platforms where I learned many digital skills. The idea was in top 100 entrepreneur ventures and also it was in top 10 Atal Catalyst program. I got the sponsorship of rupees 25,000 and a mentorship to upgrade my product. In between, I connected with many non-brands and I was also invited in at Niti Aayog for facilitation event where I was facilitated by mission director of AIM. So the digital skills helped me to navigate through the digital world and perform various tasks efficiently. Problem solving and innovating skills enabled me to identify, analyze, and solve problems creatively. Entrepreneurship skills help me to identify opportunities and turn ideas into successful businesses. 21st century skills such as critical thinking, creativity, communication, and collaboration help me to navigate through complex and interconnected problems in today's world. Having these skills enabled me to express myself creatively. So, with this, thank you so much and best of luck. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Yuvati. Wishing you lots of success with S Women. So finally, Shreyas, could you go ahead, please?
Greetings. Greetings to all. I'm Shreyas, a class 12 student studying in Bangalore, and I'm eager to share with you how developing digital skills, innovative and creative problem-solving abilities, entrepreneurial abilities, and 21st century skills have allowed me to access various opportunities. I began learning many of the same skills that all of you will learn in this camp when I enrolled in the Entrepreneurship Summer Camp 2021 of the Atal Innovation Mission. Starting with digital skills such as website creation, poster design, and problem-solving abilities were essential for me to build an educational website for my school named Ikshana. Innovation and creative abilities helped me create a highly trained ATL tool scanner that scanned and provided information about any tool you showed that was present in the Atal Tinkering Labs. Entrepreneurial and leadership skills, that are the 21st century skills, made me a change maker from inside. And though I never had an ATL in my school, I participated in many activities and competitions conducted by them. All these skills and abilities that I acquired have always kept me engaged in the new upcoming technologies, which could be cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence, and much more. These slowly gave me an opportunity to teach more than 2,500 students across the nations with the program conducted by Tinkerchamps. Now that I'm a student mentor, conducted webinars, and taught students before, I'm excited to see this summer camp make all of you here start a beautiful journey of growth. And I hope you take great things from this camp. All the best to you all.
A scanner that tells you what each tool is for is so cool. Great work, Shreyas. So yeah, thank you, Meghna, Yuvati, and Shreyas for sharing your experiences. It'll surely motivate many more children to make use of this opportunity to acquire new skills, to express themselves creatively, and to take the initiative to become problem solvers, innovators, entrepreneurs, and change makers like you. I think now we'll start the first webinar of the Changemakers webinar series. And this will be conducted by, the series itself will be conducted by experts. Oh, okay. So the series itself will be conducted by expert mentors from across the country. The first webinar of the summer camp is on mega trends. And the speaker is Mr. Deepesh Goyal. Deepesh sir is a fellow at Teach for India. He's a strategist, mentor, and business transformation leader with multi and industry enterprise experience of 3 decades in technology-based products and services. He's also a regional mentor of change associated with the Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, Government of India. So in today's webinar, Mr. Deepesh will help us make sense of the big trends sweeping the world and shaping our lives today. Whether it is the economy, industry, agriculture, or society in general, it's important for all of us to understand the big picture so that we know where the world is headed and we can acquire the necessary skills to thrive in the dynamic future that lies ahead. Before I hand it over to Deepesh sir, just a few points. If you have any questions during the session, please type them in the Zoom or YouTube chat windows. We will take up your question towards the end of the webinar. The other thing is, before we start the session, I request the participants to mark their attendance in the Google form. We will be sharing the link, in the chat windows. The form will be open only during the duration of this session. Those who attend the session will receive a participation certificate at the end of the summer camp. Okay, so please remember to click on the link that we will share shortly and mark your attendance. So with this, let me now invite Deepesh sir to start the webinar. So over to you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. And I'm very excited to be part of this webinar today. I have got the opportunity to do the first webinar, so I'm really pleased to do it. Let me just briefly give my introduction and then we'll start the proceeding. My name is Deepesh Goyal and I work as a teacher in Teach for India school in Bangalore. And I have a corporate experience of 30 years. Started as a graduate engineer trainee with Escorts, then Larsen & Toubro, then moving on to several multinationals like GE, 3M, and then Tyco Electronics, Danaher, Fortive. And I was into electrical, electronics, instrumentation. And the last assignment was into the Internet of Things. Now, after completing my 25 years, I just took a break. I wanted to write a book. So I published my first book, which is a contemporary fiction. It is called Love, Life and Beyond. And then I moved out from a corporate engineering world to a completely different world of education. I joined Atal Innovation Mission as a mentor of change initially, and then I joined as a regional mentor of change. So currently I work as a regional mentor for Karnataka, based out of Bangalore. So this is my brief introduction. And now I'll just put the presentation in the share mode. Just give me a second. So I will just need a confirmation if you can see the slides. Yeah. So I hope everybody can see the slides here.
Yes, sir, we are able to.
So the topic which we are going to cover today is mega trends. These are digital, economic, industrial, agriculture, societal trends shaping the future. So the whole objective is that what are the different things which are happening, especially after the COVID, and what are the things which are planned to happen in the future? How are things shaping up? And what is the message we have from this as a educationist, as a teacher, as a student. And why it is important? Because adaptability is the key, and that we have seen in the past during the COVID, when we had this epidemic happening after almost a gap of 100 years. So there was no living being to really seen it before. So obviously, that was the first time experience of such a massive epidemic of COVID. So that is the reason it's important that we need to be adaptable to the situation. And it's also important that we need to know what's happening. So with that in mind, I'll just give you a brief idea about what I'm going to cover in the next half an hour or so, where I'm going to talk about the digital economy, digital transformation, machine-driven economy, then Industry 5.0, agriculture and society 5.0. Then how are the different technologies, Internet of Things, robotics, artificial intelligence are going to enable us to define the future. And then also give you an idea about Atal Tinkering Lab, we call it ATL, how it is honing the STEM skills of the student, right, from class 6 to class 12. Then you might be hearing a lot of things on AI. ChatGPT is a very well-known thing in generative AI. So what are the promise and perils of AI? And I have been working in Internet of Things for quite some time now. So I will just tell you how Internet of Things is important in our life and how it's going to pave the future. And after this 30 minutes, we will take a short break where we are going to know from you that whether you have listened to the presentation and whether you are ready to answer me a few questions. So with that in mind, I will just do a small break for 5 minutes, and we'll have a kind of a debate, a live debate where I will be using Mentimeter to assess what kind of responses I'm getting, and then we can just debate on that. That would be followed by a demonstration of Internet of Things example, and that I'm not doing with any components here, but at least with slides, I can just give you a brief idea about it. And then finally, I will be giving you a quiz that is a kind of a activity which you can do it during the webinar, or you can do it after the webinar. But the important thing is that you need to submit as soon as possible to be in the race for winning some rewards based on the responses. So there would be some 3 questions, multiple choice questions for the men. So my request is that just be attentive to whatever I'm talking, be inquisitive about what I'm talking. So I would like to have an interactive webinar where you can ask a lot of questions, and we can have a question answer at the end of the session. So if you have some question coming into your mind, please just write it down onto the YouTube link or to the Zoom chat box, and we will be collating all the questions at the end and giving the answer. So with that in mind, I'm just starting the presentation with the first slide, which is on the digital economy. So let me first define the digital economy. So when we have our transactions and the things happening in a digital way, and particularly after the demonetization happening in the country, where suddenly we were told 12 o'clock in the night that from 12 o'clock in the night, the 100,000 rupees note and 500 denomination notes will not be used from the next day. So if such kind of thing happen, suddenly we felt the need of digital money, and not just money. There are so many other things which are converting to digital way. I mean, we are no longer going to have a kind of a scenario where we are dealing with a sheet of paper with some written on it. So everything is kind of changing to the digital format. So I have put down certain name of the companies, which I'm sure you must be aware about these companies: Facebook, Uber, Alibaba, and Airbnb. So what I want you to write down in the chat box right now, that what is common among these 4 multinationals. I'll just give you some 15 to 20 seconds, and I would request Tilottama to just tell me some of the answers which we are getting right now, because I would not be right now seeing the chat window. So what is the common thing about these four big multinationals? That is Facebook, Uber, Alibaba, and Airbnb. So time starts now. Okay, some people have raised hand. If you could just put your answer in the chat box, because we won't be able to right now unmute you and we can have the discussion. Just write it on the chat box and we'll be able to take it
So
up.
tell me when I should start telling you what the responses are.
Yeah, Tilottama, if you could just tell me any responses are.
So I think some, should I give you the names? Let me just see. Sharan Reddy says they are international companies. Harshit and Savita both say they are digital or they are digital platforms.
Okay, great. Great. So you have not given me the correct answer, but you're very close. That all four companies use the biggest invention of the current century, that is the data. Or you can say that they are the companies which do certain things in a very different way. And I'll give you some examples. For example, you have the biggest car rental company, which is Uber. Uber doesn't own the cars which are being used for ferrying people from one place to another place. Or let's say an e-commerce company, that is Alibaba. So Alibaba doesn't have any shops, but they are giving a digital portal where these shops are listed and you can buy anything from these shops over the e-commerce platform. And similarly, Airbnb is also not owner of the hotels or the places which they provide for stay. And these places are available on the portal, and you can book any of these places for stay in any location of the world which you want to go. Now coming to Facebook. Facebook is also very interesting. So all these three companies, as I said, that have something common as a portal. Facebook is a social media platform where the most interesting thing is that you and me are actually creating the data. Facebook is just minting money out of the advertisement, out of the posts which you put, which are sponsored posts, which are advertised posts. So the common thing among all these four companies is data. And I think the data is the most important thing which is currently in the world playing the role. And 10 years back or 15 years back, or even I can say 20 years back, none of these companies existed. So Facebook is around 13-year-old. Airbnb happened after 2008, a big debacle in the financial market. Alibaba is last century company, but most of the companies are less than 20-year-old companies. So what I'm trying to bring in here is that there's a big change, a huge change, which is happening because of the data being used, consumed, and intelligently made use of the data so that you can do certain things in a completely different way as it was earlier. Now, coming to the next slide. Next slide is actually a video. So I would like you to see this video, and which will give you an idea about what kind of a digital transformation. So with this digital economy, how the things are going to transform, or already transforming, or going to transform in the future. So this is going to be let's say a 5-minute video, which I will run for at least 3 minutes, and that will give you an idea. Because of paucity of time, I won't be able to run it for long.
Once upon a time, business as usual was often good enough. No more. Where we are going, good enough is dead. In a world where everything is connected, where everything is equally excellent, where performance is reaching perfection, there's only one space left to innovate in: you. Right now, you are a central point in the raging tornado of change fueled by digitization, mobilization, augmentation, disintermediation, automation. Well, the list goes on. Science fiction is becoming science fact. Think about self-driving cars or computers that can learn and think. The way we work will never be the same. The skills we need will be dramatically different. Winning or losing are now happening faster than ever before. So what's your response? How will you discover new opportunities in one of the most transformational times in human history? Are you driving change or are you being driven by it? Disruption has become the new normal. With change, it's always gradually, then suddenly, well, things really have stopped happening gradually. This change is exponential. Everything that used to be dumb and disconnected is now wired and intelligent. Cars, cities, ports, farms, even our bodies will be wired with sensors and will talk to each other. These game changers are also combinatorial. They amplify each other, creating a perfect storm of change. Quantum computing fuels big data. The Internet of Things fuels artificial intelligence and deep learning, which fuels robotics. However, anything that cannot be digitized or automated will become extremely valuable. Human-only traits such as creativity, imagination, intuition, emotion, and ethics will be even more important in the future, because machines are very good at simulating, but not at being. Yes, robots and software will do some of our work, but this will allow us to focus on things that cannot be automated. To imagine change squared, you've got to start engaging more with what might be, not just with what is. Immerse yourself in the immediate future, 5 to 7 years out from today. We need to go beyond technology and data to reach human insights and wisdom. Technology represents the how of change, but humans represent the why. The future is about holistic business model. The opportunity is to be liquid, to learn just in time, not just in case, not single improvements, but complete transformations, not individual systems, but new ecosystems. Humanity is where true and lasting value is created. We will engage, relate, and buy things because of the experiences they provide, because of their transformative power. The future doesn't just happen.
We'll move on. So we have known about the digital economy. We have understood what is the digital transformation, and now try to understand machine-driven economy. So when I say machine, this is relating to the robots or any other form of machines which are going to play a major role when it comes to industrialization. So we are right now getting into the mass manufacturing process where from the mechanization, we have moved on to use of the disruptive technologies. And this kind of a change is leading to a kind of a situation where suddenly all these disruptive technologies have playing a vital role. And why it is that? I would say because of three major reasons. One is that these disruptive technologies are in an era of miniaturization where things are becoming more and more compact. And the second thing where all these technologies play a vital role is the reason is the big data. That means the data being available that can be converted to intelligent data that can be used for interconnecting the machines or interconnecting the machine and the human. And the third very important thing which is happening right now is that it's not that things are happening at different pace at different parts of the world, but because of the internet, everything is kind of happening at one point of time. So things are very transparent. So if I talk about current India, let's say in 90s or 80s, we used to be 20 years behind or 10 years behind than the Western world, than the developed economies. But currently, because of internet and because of advent of the technologies, we are going shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand with the global. So the kind of globalization which is happening, which actually started in the 90s, and now it has taken a bigger shape. So because of that, the things are getting very different. Now let's understand what do you mean by Industry 5.0. So we'll start with Industry 1.0, where the mechanization started happening in the 1800s. Then Industry 2.0, where mass production, electrical things became very important, and that time only Thomas Alva Edison invented the bulb in around 1900. And then came Industry 3.0, where computers, automated production, electronics, all these gain a lot of significance. So we had the computer getting invented right around 1950. And if I just to tell you about the size of the a 10 GB data file. So at that point of time, it used to be a size of a huge truck, whereas today it is as small as a pen drive. So you can imagine what kind of a miniaturization is happening since Industry 3.0 to Industry 5.0. Then Industry 4.0 is where the cyber physical system, that means Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, all these came into existence. And it's not just that these things are not there. Let's say AI was first discovered in 1956. If you look at IoT, I would be talking detail. So around 2000, we invented IoT also. But all these things became very significant in the year 2010, when we found that all these technologies can be together used. And if you look at 2020 and beyond, the current time, the real use of robot, real use of the cognitive system, as we call, or you can say the mass industrialization, the mass manufacturing, where all these technologies are playing a major role together and moving to the next era of industrialization, which is called the Industry 5.0. Now, let's look at how we compare with respect to the Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0. So one thing you would have heard that when more of automation happens, or when more disruptive technologies come, there's a lot of job displacement which happens. But we are going to move to Industry 5.0, where we are going to stop this displacement of jobs happening because of the advent of technology, or the automation happening right now. So it is more of a human element which is going to play a major role in Industry 5.0, which is the current era. And also we are looking at sustainability as a major thing to happen. So we are talking about climate change, we're talking about less of carbon footprint and things like that. So we are right now in very exciting times, and I'm sure that all of you, whether you are a teacher or an educationist or a children getting to the college or getting to make a career, so you are people who are going to face this kind of exciting time very shortly, and you must be getting to know things even right now also. Then let's look at Agriculture 5.0. So what I'm showing here is a big agricultural land, and this is near to Bangalore, around 60 kilometers from here. And what is important about this, and this is actually put by a Japanese company, which are based in Bangalore, and they are actually monitoring all the things which you can see inside this picture, whether it is the soil density, or whether it is how much water to be given to the crop, or how much fertilizer to be given to the crop. All these things are actually getting monitored sitting in Bangalore in a air-conditioned office. And there the farmers are just given the direction, and they are going to put required amount of manure, required amount of water, or whatever need to be done. All this thing is controlled by something called Internet of Things. And I will get into the detail of Internet, but what I'm trying to bring in here is that use of the advanced technology is leading to more efficient and more effective agriculture. And that is what we call agriculture 5.0. So we may be using drones to plant the seeds. So we put the drones in the air and they will drop the seeds at the places where we want to. And this could be very precise. And then we are also looking at regenerative agriculture techniques where we can do things like drip irrigation. So let's say if you are putting rice in the agriculture field, so then you require a lot of water. But if you use drip irrigation, then you can use actually very less amount of water. So these are some of the things which are happening right now. And India per se is a very important place for all this, because 80% of our population lives in the rural area and their occupation is agriculture. So if that gets automated, or if that gets driven by the latest technologies like IoT, things are going to be much better and much efficient. Now let's look at Society 5.0. So this is a video which is prepared by the Japanese government, and they talk about how AI and IoT can play a major role in their daily life. So this is a story about a girl who is going to school, and how he sees every day in her daily routine about using of technology. So how technology is enabling the world and how it is making the quality of life better.
This is ちょっと未来の日本のとある町。時間ぴったり。IoT や AI 技術によって叶えられるソサエティ 5.0 の社会です。おはよう。朝ごはん。日本のとある町。時間ぴったり。IoT や AI 技術によって叶えられるソサエティ 5.0 の社会です。おはよう。朝ごはん何にしようかな。スムージーはいかがですか？いいね。そろそろお出かけの時間です。よっ。コロッケパンとミックスサンドいつものお店でお願い。注文しておきます。昨日から血圧が高いみたいですが。あら、そう？おばあちゃん行ってきます。行ってらっしゃい。おはようございます。おはよう。はい、これ。ありがとう。
あぶねえ、間に合った。
先輩。
ああ、お前も乗るとこ？
未来が楽しみでしょ。
なんか言った？
なんでもないです。
So I'm sure you must have been excited to see this video. Very interesting. Now let's look at which are the different technologies moving from Industry 4.0 to Industry 5.0 are playing to play a major role in the digital transformation which is happening right now. And I think one more thing which you need to understand here is digitalization. So when all the analog is getting converted to digital, or everything whatever is written on black and white or the paper is getting converted to digital form, or the money which has been transacted instead of paper money, you are using digital money. All this when you use technologies that can lead to the digital transformation. It is a basic premise which we have. Now, what are the major focus currently in terms of getting this digitalization happening for us now? So it is basically we are trying to reduce the cost. We are trying to make some efficiency improvement in terms of how we transact or how we do business. So these are some of the major disruptive technologies. IoT and AI I've already talked about, and the other ones could be robotics, then quantum computing, augmented reality, virtual reality, three-dimensional printing, then you have genomics, autonomous driving. So these are some of the things which are going to play a major role in terms of shaping your current and the world in the future. Now let's look at how ATL, that is Atal Tinkering Lab, playing a major role in terms of bringing this innovation culture and the developing entrepreneurial mindset to your school. So we are having close to around 10,000 tinkering labs in the country in different schools, whether it is public, private, rural, or in a urban area. So totally we are covering around 730 districts where these ATL labs are there. And the idea behind this is that this is something which is, though extracurricular or co-curricular activity which is being done, it is not part of the academic right now, but it see a lot of potential, because even in the future also, when you see the new education policy, which was put into practice in 2020, but still the implementation is happening. So that is going to have a lot of things which are common to the work which you do inside the STEM lab or the tinkering lab. And these are the state-of-the-art lab, which is being made with an investment of 20 lakh of rupees from the government. Initial 10 lakh is given for setting up the lab in a 1,500 square feet area. And then the balance 10 lakhs is given every year. We give 2 lakhs as a maintenance. And then after 5 years, the lab can run off its own. So we are trying to promote a culture of innovation. We want people to think about what are the problems happening around them or in their community, and then solve the problem using these disruptive technologies and using their own ways of prototyping or tinkering, or I can say iterative methods of making the customized solution better and better. So the difference between what you read or what you do in your classroom, in your academics, with this, what you do in the lab, is that in your academics, there are definite answers. So suppose if you have a multiple choice question, you'll have out of the 4 answers, 1 answer is correct. But in a ATL or a STEM lab, there is no definite answer for anything. You can have any answer to anything, right? So this is the difference what we can use to develop us in completely different way what we have been doing in the traditional way of education which we were doing in our classroom. And the motto of this tinkering lab is that we are trying to cultivate 1 million children in India as neoteric innovators. And I'm not just saying that we can get some Nobel Prize after working here, but the most important thing is that we want to create more job creators. That means we want the startup, or we want to create businessmen out of these STEM labs, rather than job seekers who are just seeking for a job after completing their education. Now let's look at what are the promise and perils of AI which we have right now. And we are slightly overshot with our time, so I'll try to cover up. The promise of AI has been that there's a lot of automation which is happening, and cost efficiency, cost and efficiency, I just talked to you. We're also improving in terms of accuracy and precision. There's a lot of personalization which is happening. So things are getting very personal. So suppose like you saw in Society 5.0 that you have a refrigerator in your house, and the refrigerator can sense that how much things are left, and based on that it can order the things to the market, and the market you have a drone, and from the supermarket the drone can bring the things. So a lot of personalization is happening, which is because of AI and IoT and all the other technologies. There's a lot of environmental sustainability which is being a promise of AI. So what we are saying is that we can, for example, in the agriculture application, you saw that you can actually control the amount of water and the manure, which a traditional way of working may not be able to. So a farmer with only his or her experience can decide how much water or manure can be. But when you are using machines and you are using data to find out how much of that is given, so it can be very precise. So we are keeping in mind the environmental sustainability. But there are issues also. So you must have heard about ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is one of the most talked about thing in the generative AI right now. So we are finding that there are some answers which are not given right by ChatGPT. So there is a bias and discrimination happening. We already talked about job displacement happening in the Internet 4.0, and which we are trying to now prevent in Industry 4.0, sorry, not Internet, Industry 5.0. Then there are certain ethical concerns because of a lot of piracy or hacking or cybersecurity issues happening there. And there are existential risks also there. So suppose what we call singularity, the one fine day when the machines become more powerful than human beings. So they can just take over and we can just become slaves in the hands of those machines. So these are some of the promise and perils of AI. Now, I'll just devote some time on the Internet of Things with the definition and what are the different components and one example. And then we'll move on to some of the question answers, which I promised to ask you. So the definition, Internet of Things is about empowering computers so that they can see, hear, smell the world for themselves. So this is given by Kevin Ashton. And what you see important here is that it talks about some of the senses of the human being. So we can hear from our ear, we can see from our eyes, we can smell, we can have the sensation of the touch on our skin. So basically talking about where things can do these things. That means see, hear, smell the world for themselves. So basically, we are connecting things together with the help of some sensory organs. So this is a very brief idea. Now let's look at how things were seen when internet has come to India sometime in India and the world sometime in the 90s. So this is one video. I just show it. This is just for humor purpose, that how we look at things. So when I talk about Internet of Things, like you might just laugh at it. So similarly, in 95, when this video was shown to us, we also laughed at this video. So I'll just run this video for a few seconds.
But you know, I think about this, and what about this internet?
So this is a chat
do you know
between Bill Gates and
what
a
the
very
hell is that
famous
exactly?
Person.
Well,
it's talking about
become a place where people are publishing information.
Right.
So everybody can have their own homepage. Companies are there, the latest information. It's wild what's going on. You can send electronic mail to people. It is the big new thing.
Yeah, but you know, it's easy to criticize something you don't fully understand, which is my position here.
Go ahead.
But I can remember a couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement that on the internet or on some computer deal, they were going to broadcast a baseball game. You could listen to a baseball game on your computer. And I just thought to myself, does radio ring a bell? You know what I
mean? There's a difference.
There is a difference.
It's not a huge difference.
What is the difference?
But you can listen to the baseball game whenever you want.
All right.
Too.
Oh, I see. So it's stored in one of your memory deals,
Exactly.
and then you can come
That's
back
the
a year
RAM
later.
thing you talked about earlier.
Yeah. Do tape recorders ring a bell? Yeah, I just don't know. What can you, just knowing me the little you know me now, what am I missing here? What do I need?
Well, if you want to learn about the latest cigars or auto racing statistics.
Well, you know, I've got that covered. I subscribe to 2 British magazines devoted entirely to motorsports, and I call the Quaker State Speed Line about 2 times a half hour. So now, would the computer give me more than I'm getting that way?
Oh, you can find other people who have the same unusual interests you do, and.
You mean the troubled loner chat room on the internet?
Absolutely.
So what you saw here, that at that time when internet had come, people were very much confused. And today, if I look at just as we say roti, kapda, and makan, that means the bread, the shelter, and the clothing are not just the 3 important things, but it is the internet also the 4th very important thing in the current world. And I'm sure very shortly you will find that AI or IoT or things like this are very important for you to have a sustainable life right now on the planet. So let's now define IoT, and I will define the IoT with the help of a very simple example. So suppose you have reason to go from one place to another, and the reason is that you want to try out something new while doing it. So you use Google Maps to move from one place to another. You set up the location where you want to go and the location from where you are going. And then you just navigate in your car or a scooter or whichever vehicle. So what is happening here is that the Internet of Things is playing a role here. So the name itself, it says Internet of Things. That means there are two things involved here. So one is the mobile phone and another is the satellite. So the satellite is doing the GPS location of the place where you are and then moving to a different place. And the phone is actually the medium which is getting connected with the help of internet to the satellite. So two things connected over internet is that what I'm talking about, Internet of Things. And now what exactly happens inside Internet of Things is that there are 5 important things. So one is, as you understand, the things here. So it could be computer, it could be a phone, or it could be any other device which can be connected over the internet. Then there would be some communication medium. So it could be a Wi-Fi or a 4G or a Bluetooth or any way you are connecting two things. And then there would be something called analytical infrastructure. So suppose there is a autonomous car which is moving and it says something in front of it. So there is a signal which goes to the back. That means where the processor is there, so that senses that there is something. So the brake need to be pressed. So that analysis of data which is happening at the back, which is nothing but the analytical infrastructure which is happening. And from there, the signal is coming to the front. That means the last part, that is the presenter part of it. And then there is a control which is also happening for the overall taking the data from the sensor, taking it back to analyze it, and then bringing it back to the enunciator to give the signal to press the brake. So all this are the components, the 5 core components of IoT which are used. Now, this is one example, and this example is was an application which I had in the ATL lab in JSS school in Bangalore, where this project was made by class 11 student, 4 student, and this is actually a water flow sensor application where the problem statement was that there is water being leaking from the taps in the bathrooms or in the kitchen area in the school, and these students were told that how can we sense this dropping of water. So if there is a leaking tap, so this can sense and this can give an alarm, and that can initiate action to either change the tap or close the tap or whatever may be the situation. So this was something which the team were able to make in just 4 days time, just before one competition which was happening in DPS Electronic City. And some of the things which were used here, to just give you an idea about what goes into Internet of Things, there is something called Arduino, which is a microcontroller which is required here, and I'll give you some more details about it in the demonstration shortly. Then you have a multimeter, a battery, LED, water flow sensor, and you can see the circuit diagram which shows how these things are connected. And look at how important this exercise, because a faucet which is dripping slowly, just one drop of water every 2 seconds can actually lead to thousands of gallons of water being lost every year. So that's the importance of solving this problem. Now, these are some of the takeaways I have from this presentation. I will also talk about in some of the questions which I'm going to give it to you in the final quiz. Digitization, digital transformation, and digitalization are the keys to future. So digitization means when we are converting any data in the analog form to the digital form. Digital transformation is that with the help of machines or with the help of disruptive technologies, you are trying to transform the world, where technology being the enabler. And digitalization is something where we are talking about use of the digital medium. So let's say prior to COVID, when we were doing offline marketing, so we were getting into the market and doing some road shows to convince the people about any consumer good. But now today we are doing it in our offices, just doing it over the social media. So the whole context is changing. So it is moving from the offline world to the digital world. So these are the keys to the future. Then digital transformation initiatives will actually have a short-term effect on your life, and then and which could be limited to cost reduction or efficiency improvement. But in the future, it can have a major changes in your life, which you can see. Future learning is going to be completely skill-based, where if you are not skilled enough to do a job, the company will not take you. Or entrepreneurship will also require a lot of skills in different fields, and that is why it's important to skill and reskill ourselves, and also sometimes unskill ourselves to be relevant in the future. And I would sincerely urge you to join any tinkering lab or makers lab, where you can learn how to fail and iterate and make new things using these disruptive technologies. So with that, I'm just coming to the end of my presentation. I'm slightly behind the schedule, but I'll try to cover up during the demonstration and the question answer session. So I have one question for all of you, and I discussed about this question in the presentation. So the question is, automation and disruptive technologies like AI, IoT, blockchain, and robotics will take jobs from humans. So I'll just repeat it. Automation and disruptive technologies like AI, IoT, blockchain, and robotics will take jobs from humans. So I have shown here some 12 disruptive technologies, and there is one analysis which was done by McKinsey and Company, and they are talking about how these technologies are affecting the world in terms of the job displacement, which I talked in brief in my presentation. I was talking about how things are changing from industry 4.0 to industry 5.0. So what you have to do is that you have to open your browser, and you can just type www.menti.com. I'll just repeat, www.menti.com, and you will be asked to put a code there. The code is 7552151. You can see on my screen. And when you type this code, it will show the question which I just asked you. And it will also ask you the answer. That means either you can give answer as yes or no or maybe. So any one of the answer which you can give, and let's see how we resolve. And then we can see on the leaderboard that what kind of answers, what sort of answers are coming. So I'll just repeat my request to you, that there's a question which I have put, which I'm considering as a myth. Automation and disruptive technologies like AI, IoT, blockchain, and robotics will take jobs from human. You have to go to www.menti.com. You can see on the screen, menti.com, and use the code 7552151 and put it in the box there. And then you will see this question, and then you'll have an option to give any one of the answers, that is yes, no, and maybe. So I will just also put this in the chat box. Just a second. So in the next 1 minute, I will ask the answer. So your clock starts now. Yeah, so this is the code which you have to use, and I'll just show you the leaderboard right now. Some of you have already answered. Yeah, so you can see the result right now. Some 47 are saying yes, 31 are saying no, 35 are saying maybe. So very interesting to know. I see most of you are saying that automation and disruptive technologies like AI, IoT, blockchain, robotics will take jobs from humans. So your time stops now. So no need to now give any answer. I have a good kind of understanding of what you feel and what you have in mind. If you continue to give answer, that's fine. But I would like to tell you that I feel that this is a myth. The answer is actually no. You might be aware that AI, which is the most used technologies out of these 12 disruptive technologies. So there was a survey which was done by McKinsey and Company sometime back, where they tried to find out that in terms of number of jobs, whether the jobs are more displaced by AI or the jobs being generated by AI. So they find something very, very strange, that AI has been actually able to provide more jobs to people than the jobs displaced. But yeah, there was not a much gap in terms of the two results. So almost same kind of number of jobs being displaced and almost same kind of number of jobs being produced by AI. So this will give you an idea about what's going to happen in the future. So when we had the computer coming, yeah.
Sorry, excuse me. We have about 8 minutes to the end of the seminar.
Sure. Yeah, got it. So this is just to give you an idea about how much aware we are right now about our current situation. So I will skip the next question here because of the paucity of time. We will quickly move on to the next part of the session, which is the IoT demonstrations. So this is a exercise, and in the next 5 minutes, I'll just try to cover this. We are trying to make a weather detection system to get real-time weather metrics live onto mobile notifications. So if you look at what are the different parameters to be monitored live if you are monitoring weather. So it could be pressure, temperature, and humidity. And as you all know that temperature is in degrees Celsius, humidity is in mm, and pressure is a force upon area. So it could be Newton per meter square. So we are trying to make a system where we are going to get real data. I mean, real pressure, temperature, humidity data from the weather. And this is happening real time live 24/7, 365 days a year. And you are getting that notification onto the mobile. So this is your exercise. So how would you plan your IoT module, and what are the things which you require for this? So I think the most important thing is the microcontroller, which is required here. So in case of the previous project, you saw that in the water flow monitoring system, you had seen that there was a Arduino being used as a microcontroller. Whereas in this case, this demonstration, we are using a different microcontroller, which is called Raspberry Pi. So if you go to the site of Raspberry Pi, so you will be told how to actually use Raspberry Pi. So I will just first explain the whole process and then tell you the step-by-step what exactly you have to do to make this model where you can do the real-time detection of the weather metrics onto a mobile. So these are the three things which you need to do. There are 3 steps to build this weather detection system. So you need something called SenseHat board, which will actually show the temperature, pressure, or humidity. And this is the display. This is the display part of the whole system, the SenseHat board. The Raspberry Pi is actually monitoring the data. It is taking the data from outside with the help of, let's say, a temperature will be measured by a thermometer. So the thermometer will have an analog data, and it will be digitally converted to a digital data, and that will be taken to the Raspberry Pi. And then the Raspberry Pi will show that data onto the SenseHat board. And this is a kind of a process which will require certain programming, and that programming you'll have to write a Python script, and you'll have to also use a API. That means you have to use an interface between the Raspberry Pi and the SenseHat board. And here, internet is the most important thing which is being used, and the things which are getting connected is the Raspberry Pi and the SenseHat board, so that you are getting the data transmitted from one device to another device. So now let's look at what are the different steps to be followed. So what you have to do is that in order to do the operating system installation in the Raspberry Pi, you have to download this software which is called Noobs from the Raspberry Pi site, and you can just go to the Raspberry Pi site easily through the internet using Google, and you can download these Noobs. Now this Noobs is actually taken to one 16 GB pen drive, and then that data, that whole software operating system, which is close to around I think 4.5 GB or so, that will be put onto the Raspberry Pi, and then that transfer of that operating system software happens from the computer to the Raspberry Pi. Now you will get a zip file of this software from the internet, and once it is in the form of a zip file, you have to take these slides to the use of SD card, or you can use a let's say a pen drive, and then transfer this to the Raspberry Pi. This is the Raspberry Pi or the microcontroller which is being used here. And then finally, once the data is transferred, you have to follow certain installation instruction, which I'm not getting in the detail, but the instruction will be available in Raspberry Pi, and you can do that. Because with a shortage of time, I'm not getting too much into detail. And then finally, you will connect this Raspberry Pi to the SenseHat. So what you see at the bottom is the Raspberry Pi, on the top is the SenseHat, and the digits what you see here, these are the small indications of the temperature and pressure and humidity, which will be showcased on this LED display. So with that, I'm just coming to the end of this presentation, and what I request you that once you have gone through the presentation detail, maybe on the YouTube or somewhere after this webinar, you can actually go to this quiz. I'm just putting this quiz into the chat box, and if you are able to answer this quiz, you can actually gain some rewards also. So there are 3 questions. I just put whatever I've discussed today into this quiz, and you can win great rewards based on your answers. So now I'm opening the discussion for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was a very enlightening session on megatrends. Let me just sort out the questions. Yeah. So that was a great session on megatrends. I hope the students and teachers in the audience have got a broad understanding of the economic, industrial, agricultural, and social trends now. and the kind of skills that you need to acquire in order to thrive in the future. Now, I think we are running a little short on time, so we don't have time for too many questions, but I saw one or two in the chat box earlier, so I'm just going to ask you one from there. We might have time for just one and maybe one more. The question was, can you please explain how digital transformation can be cost effective?
Okay, that's a great question. So when I'm saying digital transformation, I'm also trying to convert the happening to real-time data. So I'm monitoring everything real-time. So I gave you an example where in agriculture 5.0, you are able to monitor the crop, and you know when to put and how much water to put for the crop, and you're also able to decide how much manure or the supplements which are required to be used to make the crop giving more yield. So you are able to decide based on the real-time data received, and if the farmer would have been doing it, the farmer will just be using his or her experience to do it. So here the machine element rather than the human element is being used, and that actually can make the thing more cost effective. Other example could be that we are planning to use IoT in the surgery of human beings. So when you are using robots to do the surgery, what we find that it is actually more effective and more precise and more accurate. So it is not just cost effective, it is also more effective. So two things I had said, cost and more effective and efficient. So I hope I'm able to answer.
Yes, sir, thank you. I think unfortunately we don't have time for any more questions now. So we'll have to sort of, because we have the next webinar starting a little after this. So thank you so much, sir, for taking time out from your busy schedule to conduct a webinar today. I also thank the audience for attending the first webinar of the series. We have many more lined up for in the next few days, and I'm sure they will be as enlightening as this one. Our next webinar starts at 6 p.m. today, and I know there were a few questions in the chat box, so the link is separate. It's a different link from this one, and you will find the link on the website. So you need to go there and click on that. We will also, we'll put a link to the website itself here in the chat. So, just in case you want to know how to get there. So yeah, the next session will be on the importance of acquiring 21st century skills for students. And like I said, the link to the website will be here. There is a separate joining link that you need to use to join us again at 6 o'clock. So bye for now, and thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.